How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Now, today's video more so a trade proposal than anything. It is the idea of Alex Ovechkin getting traded to the Montreal Canadiens come next year's trade deadline. This is very interesting and something I'm sure a lot of people haven't really put that much thought into yet, but something that I've really been speculating in these past few weeks, and I think it's finally time and appropriate to make a video on it. So if you guys are excited, please make sure to drop a like, subscribe, let me know in the comments below what you think about this, and yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now let's start off talking a little bit about Alex Ovechkin. Now obviously he's a UFA next year and we have no idea what his plans are. Obviously he has just received another child and we don't know how long he'll want to stay in the NHL before retirement. In free agency next year, we don't know what term and pay teams will be willing to give an older player like Alex Ovechkin. From a Capitals perspective only, why would they risk losing Ovechkin in free agency? Or signing him to a short-term final deal next year before retirement when they can easily get a first-round pick and a prospect at the very least for this man in a trade? Now obviously despite the legacy, it seems the obvious pick to trade Alex Ovechkin to get valuable assets that although most likely will not be as good as the Great 8, but will certainly last them a whole lot longer down the road in the future. Now you still may ask, who would actually be willing as a GM to take this risk? I know there aren't many GMs out there that would actually follow through on this. Marc Bergevin for me stands out from the rest. We've seen this man prove himself to be fearless before, and we already know he isn't scared to take risks. I have some examples. 1. Offering Sebastian Aho. 2. Giving a player like Ilya Kovalchuk a second chance after a dreadful season in LA. And 3. Giving a small player like Cole Caulfield so much praise in the draft. The Canadiens have been in a cycle of mediocrity for the past decade, and Bergevin knows his fans want to change. Although maybe lasting short term, what better way to do that than to acquire the greatest goal scorer of all time? We also know there have been many rumors to Kovalchuk coming back to Montreal in free agency. Him and Ovi have been proven to show good chemistry both on Team Russia and the Capitals for the short span before the virus. This chemistry gives me another reason to believe Bergevin would be very interested in targeting both these players. Many articles have also reported that an Ovechkin trade is still not off the table, and I don't blame them. I would certainly trade Ovechkin for the value that he is still worth, being able to still consistently put up 50 to 60 goal seasons in his mid-30s. Obviously in the comment section below, let me know what you guys all think, if you think that this trade will still happen at all, and 2, what team Alex Ovechkin would go to and for what price. Through all of this though, and personally for me, I don't see how other people aren't talking about this trade as much as I feel like they should. Alex Ovechkin is an older player, yes, but that is why I feel like it is so necessary for the Capitals to be unloading this guy for what he is still worth. I know that the first rounder and the prospect won't be nearly as good as Alex Ovechkin, who is arguably the best goal scorer in the game of hockey. That doesn't matter. Down the road when Alex Ovechkin is retired, they would much rather have had that first and that prospect, at least. You know, it would definitely sting to be a Capitals fan at the time when he gets traded. Obviously, the legacy, he was their best player for over a decade and a half. I would understand. If I had a revolutionary player on my team, I would be feeling the exact same way. And it definitely hurts. It hurt when the Sedins left the Canucks, obviously, to be in retirement. But, you know, now it's okay. You know, it just sort of died down. Everyone wanted them to play another year, but it died down. Kind of a similar situation, not really, obviously, because Alex Ovechkin will still be in the NHL. He'll just be on a different team. But, you know, come next year, Capitals fans, if you do see Ovechkin in a different jersey, but you are getting what you think that you deserve in return for him in a trade, do not feel ashamed, because down the road, you will be thanking your GM that he made that trade. Because, you know, after all, making a trade like that is only to benefit you in the future. How is that team going to benefit from an Alex Ovechkin trade, you know, 5, 6, 7 years down the road? They're not. He's not going to be in the NHL. it's only a present trade. And I feel like Marc Bergevin and on a team like the Montreal Canadiens would definitely benefit from that because of the mediocrity that they've been put under for the past decade or so. Similar to a team like Buffalo, but I already know that Buffalo would never make a trade like that. They don't have the same desire and willingness that I feel like Montreal does. Montreal is one of the biggest fan bases in the world and the biggest franchises in the world with the most history. They're going to feel the pressure to need to have to acquire players like Alex Ovechkin. And that's different from a team like Buffalo, who doesn't have that same desire. They don't have the same fan base. That's why I feel that Montreal is such a frontrunner to get Alex Ovechkin if he were to ever be on the trade block, which he will be. Anyway, I think that's going to rest my case. Let me know in the comments below what you guys all think. Make sure to obviously like, subscribe, and I will make sure to see you guys all in the next video. So yeah, peace.